Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thursday's episode of Trending, brought to you in association with Ickonic Coffee. If you head over to shop.ickonic.com and use the code TRENDING, you get 10% off. I'm joined by Richard Willett. How are you, Rich? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Not too bad. A busy news-heavy week this week. They're bombarding us with all sorts. The House of Cards is on fire right now, isn't it?
It is. I'm also being bombarded by pollen, Richard. I don't know about you, mate, but hay fever is brutalising me at the minute.
Yep, same here. Absolutely.
Oh man, I was told to have a go on the local honey, but I know her husband from school, so I didn't want to. Right.
Everyone was on it round here. It doesn't make a difference.
No, I don't know what makes a difference, and I don't want to take the meds for it. So I'm literally like, I'm just going to grin and bear it, drink coffee, and sound a little bit. But so I apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll start with a startup.
Yeah, AI startup back, but this made me laugh. Like, honestly, this is how inside out, topsy-turvy the world was. And it took me a second to kind of get my head around this, how funny it actually is. AI startup backed by Microsoft revealed to be 700 Indian employees pretending to be chatbots. What's going on? So, if anyone hasn't cottoned on, you've got 700 Indian employees pretending to be AI chatbots that are pretending to be humans. This is ridiculous.
It is,
absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Once hyped AI startup backed by Microsoft, would you know, has filed for bankruptcy after it was revealed that its so-called artificial intelligence was actually hundreds of human workers in India pretending to be chatbots. I don't know what to say, guys.
It's mad, like how much AI has taken over everything to the point where we've gone from chatbots pretending to be human to now humans pretending to be chatbots. Like, it just flipped.
It's so weird. It's like using auto-tune, but without using auto-tune and making your voice sound like you've used auto-tune.
Like Cher.
Weird, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, she could do it really well. But so Builder AI, a London-based company previously valued at 1.5 billion, marked its platform as an AI-powered solution that made building apps as simple as ordering pizza. Or curry. Its virtual assistant, Natasha, was supposed to generate software using artificial intelligence. In reality, nearly 700 engineers in India were mainly coding computer requests behind the scenes. It's the Wizard of Oz, guys. We've gone behind the curtain. We've ripped the curtain down and gone, no, can't admit to that. Put the curtain back up, carry on like nothing's...
Look the other way. Like a Trump supporter. Look the other way.
Mad.
This AI thing's everywhere. Like I think I sent it to you from Disclosed TV this week. Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. Why is it called Big Beautiful Bill as well? That in itself is embarrassing, isn't it? Big Beautiful Bill bans all 50 states from regulating AI for 10 years. It centralises control at the federal level and integrates AI systems into key federal agencies. And everyone's going, oh, there's a raccoon over there, look. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So what in reality they've got, Gaz, is 700 Indians now in the US government pretending to be AI. It's just it is.
They've got Kash Patel. Kash Patel's on the old on the laptop. He's AI.
He is, yeah.
He's something.
He's AI, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. A Wall Street Journal report from 2019 had already questioned Builder's AI claims, and a former executive sued the company that same year for allegedly misleading investors and overstating its technical capabilities. There's no technical capabilities. You've got a Wi-Fi connection, and probably a low-grade one, and 700 Indian employees in a warehouse pretending to be AI. I quite enjoy this planet now sometimes, some days, without the hay fever.
We've got a piece of string, we've got 2 yogurt pots, and we've got 700 local farmers. We've got an AI startup, kids. Microsoft to give us some money.
It's almost like they might be kind of laundering money for something else. You never know.
Oh, mate, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go on,
TB shots, probably. Or polio shots, rather. Moving on to something obviously more serious. US vetoes resolution for unconditional Gaza ceasefire at UN Security Council, like they do every time. The United States has vetoed a United Nations Security Council resolution calling for an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire. Of course you'd vote against that. Why wouldn't you want to blow up kids? In Gaza, while the 14 remaining countries on the council voted in favour of the ceasefire. All right, well, they've got some morals somewhere then. The vetoed resolution also called the situation in Gaza catastrophic and demanded the immediate and unconditional lifting of all restrictions on the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza. That's the aid that's not being blocked on the street by Israeli citizens who are standing there like they're in Just Stop Oil, stopping aid getting in, because they're wonderful people. It's safe and unhindered distribution at scale, including by the UN and humanitarian partners. So I guess what they're asking for is, can we distribute the aid without being shot at by the IDF? And best of luck with that. It was the 5th time the US has vetoed a Security Council draft ceasefire resolution in order to protect Israel. You do surprise me. Washington vetoed a similar resolution in November under the Biden administration on the grounds that the ceasefire demand was not directly linked to the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages held by Hamas. This one, however, is. So part of the resolution is the unconditional release of all the hostages. But obviously Israel doesn't want that because they don't care about the hostages as much as they pretend they do. They don't. And it just goes to show as well, Rich, because they've mentioned obviously it was vetoed under the Biden administration. It's been vetoed under Obama and under Trump the first time and under Trump this time, because it doesn't matter what meat suit is in the White House. He's Israel's bitch. Half of all US vetoes at the UN have actually been on behalf of Israel, not even on behalf of the United States of America. And also, why does anyone get a veto anyway, Rich? What's the point? If you've got a council that are voting on something, so you can have 14 members go, right, this, and then one goes, no, oh yeah, mine counts more than all of yours combined. What's the point?
That's what I was going to ask you, Gareth. It doesn't make sense.
What's the point?
Like you go, right, okay, hand up who wants to go to Skegness for the weekend. 14 of you say yes, and one says no. Go, we can't go. We've got to find something that we all want to do. It's almost like it's designed to fail. I don't know about you guys.
Exactly. But it's not even what we all want to do. It's what America wants to do. So for me, if I was bringing in a resolution at the UN just to save all the faff, I'd go to America first and go, are you going to veto that? And if they say yeah, I go, well, it's a waste of time then. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter how many other people. But the thing I will say, Rich, is it's not a good look on America. Like they won't care in terms of the fact that they're protecting Israel. Of course, they wouldn't dare otherwise. So they're not bothered. But in terms of it being an example of how the world is moving on, the world is moving away from the United States. You can see that all in trade and everything else. You got 14 countries, because this was brought by Russia and China. So again, it's showing that split now, isn't it, from east to west. It doesn't look good on them. And, another aside to this, have you seen Corbyn, Jeremy Corbyn, former leader of the Labour Party? He's now an independent because he was kicked out of the Labour Party. He's pushing for an investigation into the UK's role in the genocide in Gaza as well. So things are starting to happen, Rich. Not that they'll go through because they won't allow it, but the fact that it's actually, it's in the conversation now like it never has been before, I don't think.
Yeah, to get it in the court of public opinion is the most important thing. It's why the media is the most important. You need to sell it to the masses. So it's really important. Regardless of their laws and what they're doing, they're going to do the nonsense stuff because they're all compromised. But they still need to get the compliance of the masses, and they haven't got it. They've lost the audience. And if the US wants to go down that route, there's no way back. There's no way back and I'm not talking about the Israeli people, of course. They're the victims of this as well. I'm talking about the Israeli government. There's no way back for them at all, the IDF and all of these guys. They're done. They're done after this. Like Trump is done after this as well. This is their last call. So they're running out of options now. So, it is a good thing in the court of public opinion because that's what carries on and that's what lasts in the future. But, these things clearly don't matter other than showing people, individuals and countries for what they actually are. And in this case, it's just a proxy for Israel.
Absolutely, and Trump's, like you mentioned, he won't recover. I don't think he'll recover from the Palantir stuff. I don't think he will recover from the AI stuff, from the big beautiful bill stuff, and the surveillance state, like I said, that he's bringing in through Palantir. I don't think he'll recover from that. The MAGAs that are on the payroll, they'll carry on pushing it, and then the MAGAs that are still hooked on the hopium, they're desperate at the moment. The raccoon stage, but that won't last forever because the hopium wears off like any drug, and so he's probably done in the end. I would suggest, because it's just flaming ridiculous, mate. The amount of people now, especially with Gaza, the amount of people. I mean, you've still got your Alison Pearson writing in the Telegraph, supposed freedom fighter during COVID, all that sort of stuff. She's still noshing off Israel, but most people, even pro-Israel people, at the time it kicked off, Israel has the right to defend itself and all that usual, read the script. Even they're going, okay, enough's enough now. Enough's enough now. It's like I say, the court of public opinion. It's moved massively, like I've not seen it move before.
Yeah. Yeah, and noshing off Israel is a great column name as well for her. So well done, she's done well there. Let's move on to more. Like, this is basically pushing the whole narrative behind the whole reason for Israel doing this madness on behalf of this, as we call, death cult, satanic cult, Sabbatean cult. Many of the Dead Sea Scrolls may be older than thought, experts say. Now, when you realise who the expert is, you might want to try and check somewhere in India to see if there's people behind it. Yeah.
700 experts in a warehouse.
700 experts. So researchers enlist help of AI along with the radiocarbon dating to produce insights into the ancient text. So on one hand, you might have 700 experts in a warehouse there, but also they're bringing this stuff back. Obviously, I've been one who questions the Dead Sea Scrolls for a long time, just from the sheer fact that they were found like 2 years after the Nag Hammadi text. I mean, what are the chances? It's all contrived in a way. They're polar opposites of what each other says. There's still no proof of any of this stuff actually happened at all. That's not proof of it. They
were found a year before the formation of Israel as well, Rich, which is impeccable timing. Impeccable.
Exactly.
The timing is always fantastic with these discoveries.
It is, isn't it? But they'll just say, because what they can say is like, well, no, it's prophecy. It's meant to happen that way. No, one of your shepherds went and stuck it in a cave. It's absolutely ridiculous. So many of the Dead Sea Scrolls could be older than previously thought, with some biblical text dating from the time of the original authors, which we have no evidence ever existed or who they are. Researchers say the first of the ancient scrolls was discovered in the caves of Qumran in the Judean desert by Bedouini shepherds in the mid-20th century. Yes, so conveniently a year before Israel was founded, you say. The manuscripts range from legal documents to parts of the Hebrew Bible and are thought to date from around the 3rd century BCE to the 2nd century BCE. Now they've been backdated to the actual time. So this is all about proving that this is real. Oh, these are definitely absolutely real. They've been, this story is real. This narrative is real. What we're doing in Gaza is legit. We were promised these lands. It's quite clear to me that that's obvious. Even if by some long shot, this was actually a narrative that really existed, that doesn't excuse going into Gaza and killing human beings. It doesn't. It never will.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it happened then or not at all. That's nonsense. That's ludicrous.
It is. And if your God justifies the massacre of children,
it's not God then, is it?
I'd have a word with him.
Look up the description of the devil or the demon or Yaldabaoth or any other name you want to call it. Now researchers have used artificial intelligence, 700 Indians in a sweatshop, to glean fresh insights into the dates of individual scrolls, finding experts suggest it could challenge ideas about when, where, and whom they were produced. So it's like a time machine when you go back and rewrite history. So we can shake hands with these people from 2,000 years ago and we can put them in a time machine much better now, said Professor Boldon Popovic, first author of the research for the University of Groningen in the Netherlands. So basically they're rewriting history and they're trying to cement this nonsense and this madness. And it's quite fascinating to see how, to me, it's very, very obvious, unless I'm a lunatic. That is quite clear. That's trying to reassure and cement that narrative and that excuse for going in and doing what they're doing in the Middle East now and all of that stuff.
Well, what was it? He who controls the present controls the past, and he who controls the past controls the future. Exactly.
Just rewrite it.
Talking of the future, it's bleak. Mate, the UK is such a horror show. I want to go to that warehouse. I want a job in India, to be honest, at the moment. Raise council tax. Just have, says OECD, as it cuts UK growth forecast. The OECD, which is an unelected body, called for Rachel Reeves to target tax loopholes. Can't have people getting away without paying. And highlighted council tax rises as a way to raise revenue. For what? Bombs? Zelensky? As it cut UK growth forecasts today. It said Britain should reevaluate council tax bans, which could see households hit with bigger bills, particularly those living in larger homes or expensive parts of the country, such as the southeast. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, like I said, an unelected body, said UK growth would edge down from an earlier forecast of 1.4% to just 1.3% this year. Oh no. Its economists added that growth next year would be just 1%, a drop on the 1.2% they'd previously forecast. So they've been wrong then. But they're probably right about this. Economists have warned that Reeves may have to raise taxes in her next budget if the UK's finances do not improve. But after promising not to raise income tax, national insurance or VAT, the Chancellor's in a tricky position. Well, she's not. She would just do it anyway, and it will go down on the list of Labour lies. I mean, there's enough of them. We're at a point of list of lies that it doesn't really matter if you add any more. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you're punched 420 times. If you get punched 421, I didn't really notice by that point. I was knocked out. Last week as well, Rich, they said that they have no plans to raise taxes after Starmer's, saber-rattling military spending speech. And obviously that's political speak for we're raising taxes. When they say we've got no plans to do something, that means we've absolutely got plans to do it. We just don't want you to have a go at us about it. It's another example, though, of crippling the people again, isn't it, Rich? Do you know what I mean? As if they haven't done that already, as if the bills haven't already become astronomical. It's like they've looked at it and they've gone, yeah, we're destroying the country. Everyone's really struggling financially, but those ones over there, they're actually surviving. So that means they're not struggling enough at the moment. Raise their taxes. Where are they? Down the southeast. Yeah, they're doing all right in the southeast. Raise the taxes then, for crying out loud. Can't have them thriving and surviving. Jeez Louise. And it's just, let's destroy everything. Let's make everyone desperate and crippled because we've got a little plan here. I mean, I think it's called the Great Reset Agenda 2030. Is that a catchy name? We've got that there and we need to get the people to agree to it. Now, at the moment, they ain't going to agree to it. There's these pesky conspiracy theorists out there saying stuff about it. So they ain't going to agree to it. So what we need to do, we need to destroy them completely, bring them to their knees. And then what we'll do is we'll introduce this. And in fact, not only will they not oppose it, they'll beg for it. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. But, Rich, they're playing a dangerous game, mate. Because the more people they make, we spoke about this several times, the more people they make desperate, the more people they push to a position of nothing left to lose. I don't want to fight the guy with nothing left to lose.
No.
And they're creating an army of those guys.
And what they're doing is, you said exactly right there. You said, let's transfer that over to the US and have a look at Musk's pretend fighting with Trump. It's the same situation. You've got this bill that's ridiculous and over the top. Trump's come out with, so we need to separate these two and have a goodie who opposes that bill. And what they'll do is just introduce the watered down version of it, which was what they wanted all along. And then people will go, we won. Go to bed thinking they win. And also these guys get what they want anyway and they're laughing. It's the same thing. So true. They just, it's how it works. It's, I think Jay said, when you're haggling with someone, you go well above knowing that you won't get it. And then they settle at the one that you wanted anyway, thinking that they've got a deal. It's how it works.
I'll remember that if I have to have a negotiation with Jay then. But no, it's true. You threaten to punch someone in the face, and then when you slap them in the face, they walk away going, whew, won that one. Got away with that one. Dude, you just got slapped.
Yeah. I know. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. And if you can't introduce communism, just make everybody equally as desperate and poor, it's the same outcome. They're just as they're just as desperate and they're just as controllable.
Exactly. But there's 700 jobs out there if you're struggling. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be back tomorrow. I think you're on your own tomorrow, aren't you, Rich?
Yeah, I'm always on my own, yeah.
Yeah. It's sad over there in Norwich, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But thank you for watching. As always, Trending was brought to you in association with Ickonic Coffee. If you head over to shop.ickonic.com, use the code TRENDING, you get 10% off. We were told, actually, Rich, when we were at the Ickonic Live, that we were running the risk of having Trending turn into WhatsApp. So I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case today. But there's no way that 700 Indians in a warehouse pretending to be AI chatbots isn't funny.
No, and I think we held it back a little bit, to be fair. We did all right, but, I suppose, yeah, we do apologise, but, some of it's going to leak through when you give us 700 Indians behind a curtain pretending to be the wizard. There's only so much we can do with that.
Exactly. Yeah. At least I didn't swear. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.